Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is LoyXP, and it's an exciting time to be a recap reporter. We got dirt-type conflict news for you out the wazoo, a whole new third faction rising from the ground, treasure hunts aplenty, and the long-awaited finale of the Hedge games. But all in good time, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Iscal85 kicks off the week by declaring that Bernie the leaf-chewing robot is finally full, and there's just time for Stress Monster to sneak in a few shulker boxes before the buzzer sounds. In the end, Rendog and Grian walked away with the grand prize, but the team of Joe Hills, Stress Monster and Zombie Cleo claimed an easy second place.
Now on that note, I get my own reward, which is an absolute ton of leaves. This is absolutely mad.
Iscal's no stranger to second place himself, having come second in the road building competition and claimed his pile of shiny things. Speaking of shiny things, there's still a pile of those hidden underneath his Treasure Island minigame, so he draws people's attention back to the game with a giant flashing arrow before retreating to his treehouse and preparing to decorate a lot of branches.
I have spent around 40 hours in this episode alone, an Omega canopy leafed.
Joe Hills' last-minute contributions to the Hedge games, mostly made of leaves culled from his underground base at the Strait of Gibraltar, earned him a shulker box full of slime on top of his eventual share of the diamonds. And while we look forward to him covering those in lava, we can enjoy his perspective on the fixing of Zombie Cleo's Rainbow Cactus Farm, a few more runs through the decked-out dungeon, and strategic trades with Cubfan and False Symmetry.
Okay, so let's say 3 Beast Bites and the uncommon for the rare. I don't know.
You know what? The Beast Bites actually sound quite good, so I'd be happy with that.
False is quite shocked to discover the Mycelium Resistance headquarters right under their nose in the Commercial District. Having seen Grian's videos, a few subscribers have pointed out to her to check under the wrestling ring and be more vigilant about it. So after a thorough investigation, she unlocks a secret passage beyond the trap Cubfan fell into, finds the headquarters, and extracts all the info she can find in there. Unfortunately, none of it is of any use to her, as she discovers on exiting when it turns out to just be a trap thrown together by Grian and Impulse SV, and hoaxed quite skillfully in their own videos.
In order to get somebody to actually find it and go in and fall for all the false information, I think you should show it on video of you entering it and make it seem like you're entering the real one, but you're not. You know what I mean?
There is, however, still some intel she receives from a mysterious benefactor who delivers her a sign with the coordinates of Impulse's mycelium farm that she then swaps entirely for grass.
And, well, I might even let the other HEP members know that we now have a grass farm, I guess.
After fooling some HEP members with false base entrances, Impulse shows Grian around the carbon copy of the Resistance headquarters, and they make a few adjustments. But when he goes to claim his 4th place prize in the road competition, he discovers his diversionary tactics may have been co-opted by the HEP.
What is happening here? What happened to the one I made that says, join the Resistance? It got changed. I do like the headband though, that's pretty funny.
He's one of many people to be bamboozled by the doorway to the decked-out black market, but once Tango explains it's just a door that you open with your hands, he returns and makes sure not to escape empty-handed. Ignored by his fellow revolutionaries till recently, Jevin is finally assigned his role within the Resistance. From now, he's the head of farming, even if the thing he's farmed most of since is Clank in the decked-out dungeon. Really, we never talked about this before, but in every other run of the place, Jevin maxes out the danger value of the labyrinth. It really is just in his playstyle to stay inside for as long as possible, sweeping the place dry of all loot. But still it felt worth mentioning because the Ravagers get truly vicious at that point.
Okay, oh god, gotta go out of there. 11 coins is better than dying, honestly.
For his own minigame, Jevin redoes the boat obstacle course now without the teleporty spots and with walls as the primary enemy. On that topic, Azuma Void will make you hate doors. The Observer Intense minigame from last week turned out to be a self-resetting labyrinth filled with jungle doors that a player will have to complete on a time trial. Don't worry, they will have a second player assisting them the entire time, making this the closest Hermitcraft as an organisation has to team building exercises.
And the player navigating through the doors will have this additional aid to make it even worse when they are traversing down there.
The doors have their revenge though, when one tricks Azuma into thinking the black market of the decked out dungeon is not quite accessible by pretending to be a block real hard. It's a rare fluke in a more strategic and purposeful decked out that X has been playing lately, where through thought, machinations, and chicanery, Azuma is trying to give the place a run for its money as much as the place is trying to give him a run for his legs. Ravagers aside, Etho has been one of the real beasts at Decked Out, playing the game to its fullest whenever he has the opportunity. His challenge compass runs don't go quite so well, but he successfully activates the jackpot square from the puzzle deep within the dungeon, earning himself a few more spots on his artifact board. He's also started glitching the game, or at least attempting the first out of bounds.
Anything over here? Nothing really over here. Yeah, there's nothing up here. We most definitely shouldn't be here. Can we fall through anywhere? Right over here. Let's do it.
His other endeavors include building a device that helps him farm XP by disenchanting books he's bought from some librarians, and embracing his role as head of shenanigans by mushroomifying some landmarks in the shopping district. And there's more to come. Rendog's appointment to the R&D department at the Resistance leads to him adopting a new scientist persona and crashing his bootleg TARDIS into Mayor Scar's pixel art face. But these experiments still go well enough that he gets his own laboratory space in the Mycelium HQ, where he sets about breeding mushrooms once he can successfully bring 2 of them back from distant shores.
Today, science has prevailed.
After splitting the Hedge Game's grand prize with Grian, the 2 of them send the mushrooms and sheep back up to the surface to run wild in the shopping district. And the footage of all these farm animals being beamed up is perhaps the most satisfying thing we've seen all week.
Right, my plan is to change out some of the blocks that are grass into mycelium so that it can all start to spread when the sheep eventually arrive.
Finding the land he so carefully terramorphed being brought back to its mycelium roots, Scar cracks down on the Resistance agents, aka the sheep. The local ecosystem, already trashed from all the sheep rolling around, was then finished right off by him introducing wolves. Wolves in hazmats, no less. Nature's most dangerous predators. Luckily, they already have a dog catcher for when all this blows over.
An ever-vigilant watchdog keeping an eye on the shopping district. Well, there is a spoiled cat sitting on its throne.
A danger no smaller awaits him back home. Through his efforts, the Nether is now leaking out through the enormous hole he made in the overworld's core trying to get to the Upside Down. Fighting the Mushroom Resistance in his own way, Cubfan doubles down on the propaganda front. First, he has to ensure that the leader of the Resistance, Mumbo, stays on message, or at least a picture of him does. To that end, he photoshops a HEP bandana onto him, swaps the word balloon for a sweeter one, and replaces all the mycelium flyers with that one.
And on it, we'll put down a banner, and inside we'll put down the HEP banners. So people can come here, grab the HEP banners, and then put them around the shopping district as sort of propaganda for HEP.
For 2, Cub conspires with False Symmetry to remodel her old mayoral billboards for ones endorsing the side where it's always greener. They do 3 different designs, one each and one together, which contain a surprisingly little amount of active slander. Guess it helps that the HEP is still not quite sure who the Resistance actually is. But Good Times with Scar might have a clue, having commissioned Grian a custom adventure treasure box and finding out how specific the contents are.
I'm just gonna bury myself in here. Goodbye, cruel world. Goodbye. And I'll tell you this right now. At this point, I'm having second thoughts about who the leader of this resistance is. This guy right here is looking a little sus.
BOO also has a treasure hunt to complete. The box he bought from Grian's barge promised building supplies fit for a king. And after uncovering several clues and discovering where Corrales moved his newly purchased half mansion, B-Dubs digs his way to victory.
Okay.
After such high adventure, he gets into the Halloween spirit, decorating his retail corner of the commercial district, and seizes the opportunity to turn in some mycelium at the town hall for brownie points and hard cash. The Diamond Throne, in the meantime, has been once again returned to its rightful place. Hired specifically for his locksmithing abilities, Tango Tech ensured that Mayor Scar has the best safe-breaking experience available.
Don't they always find, like, rats in here?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, now be
Is
careful.
there a bad time to tell you I'm scared of rats?
And so, accompanied by the closest approximation to the Mission Impossible theme a royalty-free can buy, the 2 of them crack the item lock in lieu of the Kaguma, then bungee jump Tango across the room, suddenly filled with deadly pressure plates.
You got this. Ow, the face! Ow! Okay, carry on.
I'm sorry.
We're good.
Unfortunately, even though the throne was returned safely, the mission did not entirely avoid casualties. The pig Tango was riding towards the vault could not withstand momentum built up over time.
Oh no.
Perhaps we can memorialize Maple and the sacrifices that she made.
After leaving a touching tribute to the Diamond Throne, Vintage Beef declares his neutrality in the turf war, or perhaps introduces a third faction. Introducing Podzol as a less invasive alternative, he sets up a shopfront selling spruce forest related accessories, and plans to recruit other people to the Podzol cause once he's done running away from Ravagers.
I think those 4 are gonna actually do really well. I hope anyway. Grass, that's for sure. Not the grass is ugly. Not the grass is ugly. Could be worse. Could be mycelium.
XB Crafted gets wind of this after his own unfortunate beast encounters, and while he wants to have a quiet word with beef, the server might have more of an issue with mutton by this point.
Yeah, what's with all the mushrooms too? What is going on?
I feel like some things. I mean, yeah. Oh, it's getting worse. Oh man,
it is getting much worse.
What the?
It's clear neither of them can sway the other to their respective causes, so XB heads back underground to claim his first loot box from the arcane machinery of Decked Out, although he might have to handle those priceless artifacts a little more carefully in future.
Oh baby, look at this. That wasn't close enough.
Seeing Podzol enthusiasts pop up, Hypnotized takes to the idea and introduces new tiger materials to his diamond store, including dead bushes, which truly are a more convenient stick. The inspiration carries over to his boardwalk as well, where he designs sizable planter beds and entire parks for the trees in shade of which to frolic. For his efforts, Vintage Beef tracks him down and takes him to the remote Mega Tiger that they intend to domesticate into a resort, if not a headquarters, once more of the Hermitcraft members realise how nice it is to have an autumn-coloured biome. Unfortunately, between them and that, there's 2 warring factions and a whole lot of spruce saplings. As for what Hypno is wearing, you can blame Mumbo and his Halloween mood.
Wait, why is there 40 pages? This process is not currently reversible.
Drawn to the Treasure Island game by the irresistible allure of redstone lamps, Mumbo actually does remarkably well with the golden shovels it gives him.
So Isgal has given me my own personal one. On the southern coast of the grassy north, there be treasure in plural for those who knows. For those who knows? Is this a nose joke?
In good spirits, he decides to celebrate the season of scares by building a Halloween skin-changing device in the shopping district.
Self-portrait, Mumbo? He's looking for me!
We're not sure what's scarier for Mumbo, the discovery that his face has been used as advertising for the HEP, the fact that his diamond throne vault was cracked, or getting trapped in a non-functional redstone device when he first tests the spooky skin changer. What's scariest for us is how he looks after the machine actually works.
I've already looked like this season. That's so rude. This is just me without a mustache.
After a few weeks of intensive build work, Keralis drops everything for a nice day at a Grian-designed treasure hunt and the decked out dungeon. He does even get all resistant, just not in the way you expected.
But what do we get? Let's see. Resistance. Shashwam, we got a resistance book.
After all, the cake shop is done and open for business, which Hypnotized even takes advantage of. Plus, all of Keralis' businesses are signposted by banners with corresponding pictograms on them. And finally, there's Grian, who, now that I think about it, we've covered entirely in everyone else's segments. Missed him? Give this video another watch, we promise. It's all in there. And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixelriffs. Insert shameless plug for my Minecraft RTX series, in which I discover quite how scary caving would be if the lighting in Minecraft was this realistic. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.